friends, welcome to Friday, weekend in review time. Down here in Key Largo, Florida, away from my bride, unfortunately. Been out fishing, it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon right now. Been out fishing with my father and one of his friends. Went out on the Atlantic side, fished the ocean from about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning until about 2 o'clock or so. We're back at the condo where my dad lives, or at least lives during the winter. And we're here to clean our fish. I think we ended up with maybe 5 or 6 grunts, a 26, 27 inch mackerel, and a pig something. What's that pig fish called? Oh yeah, a tuna. And
mackerel, mackerel.
Yeah, some other kind of fish too. So we're gonna get them cleaned up, and then we're gonna rest for the rest of the day probably.
Well, Todd's Friday was a whole lot funner than mine because all I did was spend literally 8 hours painting these 2 rooms and didn't even finish. And then it started snowing that evening, and I knew Saturday was going to be a whole lot of fun waking up to, so I'd have nothing better to do than to finish painting on Saturday. But I'm so happy that Todd's getting this opportunity to spend a getaway with his dad, and I think that they're going to have a lot of fun through the rest of the weekend.
So we're out tonight to have some dinner at a place called the Shipwrecks, Northern Key Largo. There was a little man over there playing some songs earlier, but I think he's done for the night, which is, I guess, fine. It's a little quieter now. We ordered coconut shrimp.
Good Saturday morning. As you can see, the walls are painted. It took about 8 hours yesterday, guys, just to paint the lower half of the walls, which is the lower 7/8 of the walls. So I'm gonna paint the top today. I got to talk to Todd. He's having a lot of fun. I do miss him terribly. Woke up to some snow this morning. That was fun. Chickens hate the snow, but I threw some scratch grain out there to give them something to do and scratch in the snow, refreshing their bedding in their chicken coop this morning. But today, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna finish painting, and hopefully I can wrap that up so I have time this evening to make soap. I'm a little behind on my annual soap making day. But, oh, and these things, guys, these are my new glasses. I got those transition lenses that I mentioned. I'm having a heck of a time with them. I know I'm supposed to look differently, like turn my head when I need to look, but it's not a habit yet. So I'm gonna just try to wear them a few hours every day and see if I can't break myself in. But I'm sure we'll check in with Todd at some point today and see what he's up to.
Good morning. Welcome to Saturday it is. It's about 11 o'clock. This is the condominium place where I'm staying with my dad this weekend, and we're getting ready to go out fishing again. Today, however, instead of going oceanside for our fishing trip, we're going to go inland side into the bay over towards the Everglades along the edges of the mangroves and fish for trout and snook. But it should be fun. It's about 74 degrees already. The sun's out. Barely any clouds. There's some way off in the horizon, but it should be a fun day.
So I didn't get any soap made. It ended up taking me about 4 hours to finish painting the room. I don't remember what I did the rest of the day. I think I was more focused on the weather that was happening outside and taking care of the animals and managing the snow coming down without Todd. But I'm happy to report that I did end up wearing my glasses more and more through the weekend, and I'm not having any trouble with them now. the transition was painful at first, but definitely easier than I expected. I thought it would take a couple weeks to get used to them. And it was really just, 3 full days of getting used to wearing them. So I'm happy with it. Well, it ended up snowing way more than we expected. I think they had reported like 2 inches Friday night and continuing into Saturday, 2 more inches. Originally, the forecast was like 8 inches of snow. We ended up getting all day long an accumulation of about 7 inches of snow here. But we live in the country, of course, and there's just huge fields all around. So the drifting is terrible. And there were some spots when I was walking out to do the chores and stuff that the drifts were easily 10 inches, I'd say. I wouldn't exaggerate too much more than that, but I would say about 10 inches. They were at the top of my boots. So keeping a path shoveled for the chickens to get out of their coop, for the dogs to go outside and go to the bathroom, the front porch cleared off. I did get out Todd's four-wheeler that has the plow on it, thinking I would be brave enough and do that. I am not brave enough to do that. I need him here with me to teach me. I've taken it for granted that he's always here to do those things and never learned myself.
So hey friends, that about wraps up our Saturday. At least for me, on my end down here in Florida. I know Rachel got a lot done back at the homestead. Look at this view. It's awesome down here. We went out fishing all day, basically on the backwaters, so like the west side of the Florida Keys today. All kinds of fish. I caught a shark, which was cool. I did not really plan on catching a shark. We weren't really fishing for shark, but we got a small fish on the line, and the fish was being reeled in, and a shark came up, nailed it. So I got to catch a cool shark, which was sweet. We got a lot of mangrove snappers, and a lot of sea trout today. Fished probably 3 or 4 different places. It was really cool. It's starting to cool off. It's down to about 70 degrees here now, and the sun is setting. Make sure you can see that there. And that's about all I got in me for today. We're going to get cleaned up and get some food in our bellies and rest. Tomorrow's supposed to be kind of crappy outside. It's supposed to be rainy, windy. So I think we're going to head down towards Marathon and head up the big Bass Pro Shop and do a little shopping tomorrow. And
good morning. It is Sunday, and I woke up to the most awesome, wonderful gift of like -9, I think it says it is right now. Stop. So not fun at all to do morning chores when it's that cold out. So this is my first year with goats, you guys know. Well, I'm going on 1 year. And I'm super nervous about just how they handled the weather. I definitely gave them tons of extra bedding last night to bed down in. I don't know with Nubians and their long ears if they're prone to frostbite. So that's something that I'm going to be checking out is their ears this morning, see how they look. I know I need to give them more water. So hauling a 5-gallon bucket of water out there in this cold is going to be tons of fun. Hopefully I don't fall again like I did yesterday. Anyway, wherever you guys are, I know Todd's certainly warmer than me. I hope you guys are too. And we'll see what we do throughout the rest of the day. Well, Todd woke up down in Florida to a heck of a storm rolling in. So they probably weren't going to get out and go fishing much today, but they were going to get out and see some of the other keys, do a little shopping, stay indoors, either traveling in a car, sightseeing, or going into the cute shops that are around. But that was, I was on the phone with him at one point in time, and you could hear the thunder and the wind rumbling and everything. So that was a pretty significant storm to end his weekend with his dad down there. Of course, he'll still be there Monday morning, which is today that this video is going to be coming out. But back here, we ended up having the most beautiful, glorious sunny day. Now, it was probably only, I think, 4 degrees at the time that I filmed this video with a wind chill of probably -1 degree. But that's not bad. I mean, I'd rather have the sun if I'm gonna have that kind of cold weather. Of course, I didn't make any fun breakfast this weekend because it was just Nick and I here, but I did pull together a taco soup and some cornbread muffins for Sunday for our lunch. And Cameron and Claire came over and just got a good visit. And that was my first time making taco soup. It was really, really good. I think I'll do it again.
So that about wraps up the weekend in review from down here in Key Largo, Florida. This is my dad, Tom. A lot of you guys probably never met him before, so I wanted to get a chance to get him on camera and also thank him for having me down here with him this weekend. It was awesome.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
We got to do, I think, just about everything we wanted to do. We went ocean fishing 2 different times, one on a big charter boat, one on a smaller boat. We went fishing on the backwaters, that's what they call it generally, on the backwaters as well. Ended up catching tuna, mackerels, grunts, porgies, a bunch of mangrove snappers, some sea trouts, 2 sharks, and a puffer fish. But I don't think we landed the puffer fish. It got away at the end, but it was still kind of cool. It felt like you were reeling in a shoe. It's just like this big thing you're reeling in. We did see dolphins, and we saw a manatee yesterday also. So I think that just about wraps up all that Florida has to offer so far, at least in a weekend trip. But maybe next year we'll come back, we'll do this again. And from Florida, have a good weekend, guys. We'll see ya.
That sums up one of our fun weekend in reviews where Todd and I are on different sides of the continent and just really enjoy seeing what he was up to. Hope you guys did too. And I hope wherever you are this week that you're warm and that you are thankful for all the wonderful things in your life. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.